All right, party people. What's going on? This your man Griff. Want to do a video concerning power of attorneys. Okay. Um, a lot of people been asking me about, hey, do a power of attorney. People have been calling me asking me about how to do a power of attorney. Power of attorneys are done according to your state laws. It's that simple. Whatever your state laws are, that's what you're supposed to be doing. That's how you do them. Whatever your state laws are. Now, interestingly enough, until I was asked these questions, I didn't know this. I just recently found out about this thing called a uniform. I think it was uniform. Let me pull it up real quick. The Uniform Power of Attorney Act. Okay, and the Unified Power of Attorney Act is a is basically an act that in that they would like the states to follow, all of them, and it's dealing with durable power of attorneys, and it has general rules governing the creation, use, and let me just, I don't know why I didn't show y'all this in the beginning. So, as you see here, Uniform Power of Attorney Act on Wikipedia. And one of the things is was designed to correct shortcomings in both the uniform probate code and the durable power of attorney by superseding both of them. It consisted of four distinct articles, general rules for the governing the creation and use of power of attorneys, definitions used by the UPOAA, and optional form of use of granting power of attorneys and other miscellaneous provisions. And this is something that apparently has been adopted by about maybe 25 states. Um, and it's supposed to just, I guess, keep things more uniform, because different states have different laws. So depending on how the power of attorney is done, so let's say a state has a witness requirement versus a state that doesn't, and you're in a state that does require a witness, and somebody, a relative, is in a state that doesn't, and that your state may not accept the power of attorney. I'm just speculating. I don't know the dynamics or definitively, but let's just say they don't accept power of attorneys that don't have witnesses. Now you have a problem. You see what I'm saying? Now you have a problem. So this Uniform Power of Attorney Act is designed to keep things in check, or to help keep things in check. So I would say, you need to look into this, find out whether your state falls under this. Some states do, some states don't. Um, that's not what I'm doing. This. So one of the ways that you can just simply understand more about power of attorneys in your state is by searching power of attorney or POA witness requirements by state. I clicked on here. And then this document here just breaks down and tells you everything you need to know about doing a power of attorney. And again, any website, LegalZoom, Rocket Lawyer, any of these, I am not getting paid. They are not sponsoring me. I am not endorsing them, period. Okay. And then it talks about your signature and witness requirements. So even in here, it says, approximately 25 states have adopted the Uniform Power of Attorney Act, and you must abide by this rule. So whatever the rules are for that state concerning this Uniform Power of Attorney Act, that's what needs to happen. So you need to find that document, you need to read it, you need to understand it. These are things that you as the notary have to do. If you're not doing these things, you cannot keep hopping on Facebook, Instagram, and everywhere else asking people what to do, because they're going to give you information that may not be applicable for your situation based on your state laws and requirements. So please learn it for yourself. Then that way you'll be fully protected and you'll know what the heck is going on. Talked about notarizations, all of that. The links will be in the description. Okay. Um, like for Virginia, and all I did was, and this says here, you can choose to have you as the individual, not me, the notary, but the person who's getting the power of attorney can choose. It needs to be signed for it to be in front of a notary, need to be signed before a notary in order for it to be valid. And if they choose to, they can have a witness. Now, I've only done one power of attorney where a witness wasn't required, or they didn't have any witnesses. Okay, all the other ones I've done, witnesses were there. Okay, but this here talks about the types of power of attorneys, all of that. A springing power of attorney is one that does not become effective until the occurrence of a special event, such as the principal becoming incapacitated and remains in effect until revoked. When you create one in Virginia under the Uniform Power of Attorneys Act, it is automatically durable unless specified otherwise. So it gives you all of the different things that you need to know. And again, this is coming from you just taking time out to do your research. Okay. And that's all I did, witness requirements, all of that kind of stuff. Same thing here. And then what was that other one that I did? Yeah, different forms. So you can search for forms. Now, most of the times when you search for a form for power of attorney, it's going to come up with either Law Depot or Rocket Lawyer for most of the times. Then you have this one here. Um, Choose the state. So I'm going with Virginia, and then it has different ones. So let's go. Let's just go on and have some fun with this here. Now, I download this one. I don't know if it's going to ask me to. Okay, cool. Just let me see it. I was hoping that would be it. So this is the one in Virginia that I typically see. Now, the principal, this is the teaching part. The principal is the person asking for the power of attorney to be created. Okay. The attorney, in fact, or agent is the individual that's going to have the power of attorney and can act on that person's behalf. The successor is the person who can act in on behalf of the principal if the main attorney, in fact, or agent is not available or is incapacitated or whatever the case may be. So you don't have to have one, but you can. Then you have all of these. Now, here's what's important in Virginia. If you use this one, the principal, it says if initial, if you initial item A or B which follow, a notarized signature will be required on behalf of the principal. So if either one of these get note signed, initial, if you initial item A or item B, which follows, a notarized signature will be required on behalf of the principal. So the principal's signature has to be notarized if they initial either one of those. Basically, if they initial any of these other items, they do not have to have the document notarized. Okay. That's what that is saying for Virginia. Okay. And then they sign it and then boom, notarized. Now they can still sign it from my understanding, but because they didn't do A or B, they don't need to it doesn't need to be notarized. And then the attorney in fact does their thing, then the successor does theirs, and then the witnesses. Okay. So acknowledge and before me by this, before me by such and such, witness this day or such and such, um, and all of that. So, and then acknowledged and accepted by attorney in fact. So you just follow and go through. Then the witnesses, they sign this attestation and all of that. This is the one that I see the most in Virginia. Okay, the most. This particular layout. There are others that attorneys will put together. Okay, general power of attorney, limited power of attorney. Okay, you have all of that kind of stuff going on. So depending on your state, and what they have going on. So let's just look at Texas. Texas got their thing. So I guess the person you have a holder with a withholder to withhold a power, do not initial the line in front of the power. So if you don't want somebody to have power to do such and such, then you do not initial it. Okay. My agents, co-agents, all of that, they do all of that. and then you notarize. Um, and I don't think, yeah, it doesn't look like for Texas there needs to be a witness. So, and if you look, now here's the key. If you look at the notarial acknowledgement statement, it's no different than what you see in the loan package. That's why I keep sharing with people, especially when I'm doing my classes. If you understand how to notarize, you can handle any document. And I don't know who's messing with y'all heads and making y'all think that like, okay, well, to notarize the loan documents is different from notarizing a general notary document. No, the notarial acknowledgement statement is going to be the same, and for your state, it's going to probably be simpler because the notarial acknowledgement is going to be in line with what your state wants you to notarize. And then if you're doing a loan document and you're notarizing, when you're notarizing, if the language, this language that you see on the screen is not in line, let me make sure you understand what language I'm talking about. Everything below that line, all of this here in this box, okay? If this is the way your state requires, if you're getting a document from California and it doesn't have the proper verbiage in here, this stuff, then you add up all purpose acknowledgement or jurat. It's just that simple, okay? So you see, it is no different than doing a loan document. If I had opened this up and just showed you this, you would think this was a loan document. Oh, okay. What loan document is this here? Whatever. Signature affidavit, or which it wouldn't be because it would be a sworn. The affidavit would have a sworn on it. But is this here you know, your deed, because you can see the same notarial acknowledgement statement on a deed. Okay. So stop thinking that everything is so much different, and cryptic. I mean, and I hate saying the word, but that's really how people act. So Texas doesn't have one. Okay. So let me go over here since I mentioned California. Let's hit up the big CA and see what theirs doing. They got 7 pages to this bad boy. The agent, the name, the print, the signature of the agent, the date, all of that. And all of this here, I'm like, y'all figure that out. And then it says the same thing like Virginia. If item ALB, which follows after this statement, are initialed, then it has to be whatever. It has to be notarized, a signature, all of that. So here's a notarial acknowledgement statement. And again, if this, now like, okay, like, see, this is broken up over 2 pages, so it really shouldn't be. It should be all on the same page, in my opinion. Um, but you can add your own notarial acknowledgement statement. So the question is, does it have all of the information? So then acceptance by the agent, preparation statement, the document was prepared by whoever prepared it. That's not you, the notary, somebody else prepared it. That's who did it. You didn't prepare this document. You just notarized it. Okay, so California has their own little thing. The whole point of what I'm trying to share with you here is that you need to do the necessary research. You get a power of attorney document out here, you look it over and you see, okay, this is what more than likely, because more than likely, anybody who gets a power of attorney, they're going to get it off of here, off of this site here, powerofattorney.com. Okay. In here, 2 witnesses. Okay. Then you need to know for Florida what your witness requirements are. And then it has all of this here stuff, all of this here, special attorney in fact, then their signatures get notarized, and that's it, 5 pages. So it's very, very simple to figure this stuff out if you just go do a little research. All right. That's it. And I wasn't stuttering. I was just acting up. Okay. So the information is out there. The links will be in the description below. Okay. But one of the sites that I went to was Rocket Lawyer, and I created, a power of attorney, this one for Texas. And you can sit here, and I got a free 7-day trial with Rocket Lawyer, which I'm about to end. It ends today. I had started working on this here video last week. Um, my research and everything. But you can sit there and do, power of attorney, special power of attorney or whatever, or just power of attorney, and make your own document. You select the state and you go that way. So, I got a general power of attorney. I was playing with one from Michigan, all of that stuff. So, it's very, very, very simple. What else here? Which one? Where is that thing at? And then here, this one here, the US state laws, this one here, I'll put the link in the description, has all of the different state laws. How updated it is, I don't know. You have to read this and figure it out for yourself. But, um, you know, Virginia, search terms. Okay, promissory note. Let's look at that one. That's pretty cool. So this one here helps you understand your various state laws. Um, Promissory notes, all that kind of stuff. So promissory notes, promissory note. Okay, horse, all of that. So, okay, various different types of promissory note, not necessarily the one that I was thinking about, the legal. But this here breaks it down and tells you what it all means. Okay. The bottom line is you go to this site here and you can pick, okay, Colorado power of attorney law. What is the law for power of attorney? And it tells you everything you need to know here about it. So that way, for those of you who want to be knowledgeable and educated on it, but again, you are not allowed to give legal advice. So what you mainly need to make sure you understand is how to notarize the power of attorney and whether or not there's a witness requirement and what that witness requirement is. And that's the key thing. Okay. So I hope that put y'all in the right direction. Okay. I really do. I hope it put you in the right direction with regards to power of attorneys. In other words, you got to do some research for yourself. I would strongly encourage you not to depend on Facebook or YouTube for all of your information concerning general notary work. Um, there's research that you can do out there, and mainly, and I'm gonna put the links in there, and then you can find out what your state law is and go that route. Hey, state law, what do you say? And your state law says, boom, and you do that. Okay. One of the things that I love doing is research. I like researching, and I understand that all of y'all are that into this, like I am, or many others. But to me, it's very important that if you're going to educate or share stuff with people, you need to do the research to the best of your ability. You're not going to always research it or always gather all the information correctly, or may not even understand it correctly or interpret it, but at least put forth the effort to do the research and be willing to go back and do some follow on research if need be. The bottom line is simply this: you need to do the research yourself. Don't always depend on people. That's why I didn't necessarily teach, like, here's what it, you can figure that out for yourself. But if you see, as you saw for yourself, the notarial act, that statement is no different than what you see on a loan document. So if it's no different, then I don't see how you can be confused or stressed out or misguided on how to properly notarize. Again, and I'm gonna stand by this statement till I stop being a notary and till I die, which hopefully to be at the same time, is you need to understand how to properly notarize. If you do the notary essentials course with the NNA, you'll be good. You most definitely will be good. Sometimes on YouTube, catch the notary coach, look at his subscribe to his YouTube channel and look at his Zoom meetings. A lot of times in the Zoom meetings that we're in, we're talking about notarial acts, how to notarize stuff. That is the crutch of what we're doing. That is it. That is the bedrock. That is the foundation. And if you can get that, that is right now my mission, is to make sure that every notary out there understands how to notarize documents properly. It's that simple. Okay. If you don't want to listen to the NNA, which I don't see any reason why you shouldn't, if you don't want to listen to other people I don't understand, If you take the time, if you listen to me, that's what you're gonna get. So if you call me, text me, email me, whatever you, however you, it's going to be, do you know how to notarize the documents correctly? And if you don't know how to notarize the documents correctly, that's the only thing I'm going to be focusing on helping you get. Once you get that, then everything else will be butter. Man, I've shared it before and I'm share it again. If you call me, if you looking for me to help you do a one-on-one session with it, the first thing I want to know that you know understand how to do is notarize the documents. And to be honest, if you go out and know how to notarize the documents, then you really don't need me, because everything else I honestly believe you can figure out yourself. That's the sink in moment. Okay. If you understand how to notarize the documents properly, everything else will fall in. Okay. It will. It, because once your mind understands that, it'll be like, oh, got it. Yeah. And you'll be able to figure out who signs what. Okay. And of course, I can help you out with that, but I think you can figure that out yourself. But most people who don't understand how to figure out who signs what don't necessarily understand how to notarize. They need to figure, you need to figure that part out. You not so much figure, you need to learn. Okay. You need to learn. You learn that, I'm telling you. And many people have called me and told me it, once they understood how to notarize, once they learned how to notarize, everything else just fell in place. And their error rate was got down and they wasn't making all those mistakes or any of that. So that's all I'm saying. Okay. And as you see here, from what we showed tonight, the notarial acknowledgement area is no different. Okay. And yes, I'm sort of repeating myself here because I'm trying to drive the point home that you need to do some studying, you need to do some learning, and leave Facebook and the rest of them people who don't know what you're dealing with and where you're dealing with and why you're dealing with it alone, because they're just going to be giving you a bunch of mess to throw you off your game. All right. So I'm done for the night. Got to do some website stuff, get some things set up for some people. And I got a 9 o'clock tomorrow, and I'm getting ready to print those docs out and get ready for that. And we'll be good to go, y'all. And yes, 9 o'clock on Memorial Day, I'm going to be doing closings. Peace.